Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Hello, everybody. It is Dan here, and I am just doing okay today. So I'm just so for some people, I've probably been looking at the chat. I was trying OBS out a little bit, and it was not being too friendly. So I decided to just make a Google Hangouts because it's just becoming too big of a pain in the neck. So I just thought, let's just do Google Hangouts because I know how to use that, and OBS I'll try you out another day, just maybe not today. The issue is just it sort of involved the fact that it isn't very straightforward, and I'll just have to get good at with the live stream stuff. But it has a lot of cool features, and it would be really great for especially if doing gameplay stuff. Especially you can put me on the screen like over here, and I can talk, and I don't have to worry about you having to take audio from the webcam up here because of there's a lack of background noise cancellation. So I don't have to worry as much about it cutting off things. So let me see here. I'm just gonna get the chat open. That way I can see what you guys are doing if you're there. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Now we're looking a little bit better here. Yeah. Now I see. This is the thing. I like Google Hangouts, and I like the new stuff, but let me just. Okay. So let's see here. I'm just gonna put a link up so that. Actually, first, maybe I should make sure, and maybe I can see if I can bring in some guests here today. Because I want to have a little bit of fun with this. Let's see here. Apologize, guys. I am just getting things set up here. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. So I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm just gonna get the chat open here. Chat. Where are you? There we go. Let's get this chat open. Okay. Let's see. Let's screen share. Let's put me there. There we go. Now I got the chat there. So now you guys can see the chat. I'm just going to close the door here because in case anybody shows up. Let's see. That probably should up a little bit. Just going to turn on this fan here to get some circulation in here. There we go. So hopefully everybody's having a great day. I'm just peachy. Now, I guess the first thing that I should probably talk about is it's involving what exactly happened. So in case anybody's new to this channel or is on my alternate channel and maybe need to be brought up to speed exactly with what happened. I'm just going to open up a Reddit page, and you'll see pretty quickly. I think it's Reddit. I'm just going to go to Reddit. Reddit may do the trick. Let's see. Okay, how do I get to the? How do I get to this post? Okay, well, in short, yeah, this is my Reddit. I barely use it. I only use it to post Mega Riding Turtle 2 stuff on the Mega Man Reddit thingamajig. I don't really use Reddit. It's only so often I go here. But yeah, what really happened was I had put up on YouTube on this channel. I had put up a video that showed some clips from the Yale protests that happened back near the end of Halloween, early November, and there was some stuff that Yale Daily News, the people that put up the video, had put the private that would have basically made Yale look really bad because they had all these social justice warrior types going after these professors, and I wanted to really show people this video because they didn't want to anymore. So I put it out there. I edited it a little bit so that it's just a shorter clip so people can just see the clip. And it went crazy. Like, I mean, like, there were millions of views on the video. Like, I mean, like, I'm serious. Like, there was a million, like, there had to have been, like, I think, yeah, it was definitely over 1 million views on it. Like, that's how crazy it was. I've never had anything in the order of millions in terms of views on this channel. So I was obviously very excited. But ends up Yale Daily News found out about this and issued a copyright violation on me. And hence got a copyright strike. And so in the process, YouTube had removed my ability to do my streams and all that on this channel, and also my monetization, which is unfortunate. Like it helps fund my videos because I use a lot of. I always need little bits of equipment for my videos. Oh, it's a little bit here or there, but I'll just show you how it's looking at the moment. So right now, all my stuff's in good standing, except for one thing. Right now, the monetization has been disabled, and I have no idea how exactly does it come back. I talked to people in the YouTube support. Unfortunately, okay, when I say that it's YouTube help forum, it's not. They don't really have a true customer service anymore. I think they got rid of it like a few years back. So so you have to go to this forum and you post your situation and you hope and cross your fingers some expert's gonna find it, and then they forward it along to YouTube support. Like, so it's very inconvenient. And pretty sure some of you may know about the fair use stuff on the YouTube and all that, and may be aware of some of the issues involving that. But yeah, let's just say YouTube's customer service ain't the greatest. So right now I have no idea why my videos cannot be monetized at the moment. So right now I'm kind of just doing this as I was at one point, like I'd say like 2006 or 2007, doing this for with just purely from a hobby standpoint. So I usually like it's like try to get a little bit of stuff to help me and encourage me to upload videos because I really like to make videos for you guys. But at the same time, I also want to make sure that I get at least a little trinket for my efforts. So of course that's for making the videos, and I like to do that because obviously I'm a YouTube partner. But right now I can't on this channel. On my alternate one, the smaller one, which has about 113 or 14 or 15 subscribers, that one I can monetize things. So right now I'm on this channel because I believe that more people will look at it here as opposed to my smaller channel. So right now it's sort of that kind of middle ground position. So I'm crossing my fingers that the monetization comes back on this channel. And if not, we may need to migrate over to the alternate channel again. We'll play it by ear, because my loyal subscribers do check out both. So hopefully that sort of sounds like a reasonable plan. It's kind of unfortunate that it hasn't come back yet. So that being said, at least I have the ability to upload long videos on here, and the ability to do streams and all that, and all of the stuff I used to have, which is good. I'm really glad about that, because let's just say I've been very impatient about trying to get back on this channel to make actual videos that are less than like 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, which is a pain in the neck. The only thing I put up on here, aside from preview videos, were with the Java video when Java passed away. Well, sad, but yeah, it's never easy. But so I guess I'll talk to you guys about what exactly I've been up to lately. Now, keep in mind, my hope is sometime within the next week to have a proper update video for you, because I know some people are just wondering, like, what's going on with Mega Man Eternal 2? And they want to see something. Hello, Papyrus, the cool skeleton. How are you? But yes, I'm planning to have a proper update video sometime next week. Like keep in mind that we're gonna have a little bit of fun here. I may be able to get a couple people in here. But yeah. So basic, because obviously I have some things I want to show off for Mega Man Eternal 2. I hope not as much as I was hoping to, because I've been like, if you've been keeping an eye on a whole bunch of things, like on my other channel, like the alternate one, you may know that I've been extremely busy with my PhD stuff. I've been working on a research proposal, actually working on a few of those. But I have one that I'm required to do. But yeah, no, it's so let's just say I've been very occupied with that. I think I wrote up like 40 pages last week. It was just, and I still got more to go. Another like 10 or something. It's not really a big deal. But anyways, oh, cool. You're playing Five Nights at Freddy. Is that Five Nights at Freddy's World Update 2? I'm hoping that's what it means. I sure hope that's at least what I think it is. Do correct me if that's the case, if that's not the case. But how's that going? One game that I've been playing, I played the other week. Like obviously, there's a bunch of games I've been playing lately. In my spare time, guys. I get a little bit of time. Sometimes you just need like an hour just to kind of just play some games and that. The bootleg quick man. But yeah, no. One game that I was playing a couple weeks ago was Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. That game I enjoyed playing that one. And the end has some pretty interesting difficulty spikes, but literally like lots of spikes. But no, it was good. The music's great. I can't believe I waited so long to not play that game. I guess I did the same thing with Shovel Knight. I didn't play Shovel Knight until the physical copy for the Wii U came out, along with the Shovel Knight amiibo, so I can play with my girlfriend, so we can do the co-op play. Because that was one thing that we really wanted to do, was to play it that way. But yeah, no, it's let's just say I've been waiting for quite a while to come back onto this channel and do my streaming on this one. But yeah, if anybody's curious and they don't know what this alternate channel I'm speaking of is, it's in my, if you go to my channel, on the right side, actually I can show you right now. If you go to my channel, if you go to the channel, you'll see it along the right side. Let's put this so it looks like what other people see. Returning subscriber. Let's see. So it looks something like this. If you click over here on my channel, on this other one called Daniel Page with the picture of Lola the puppy, if you click over here, you can get to this alternate channel. Now, on the alternate channel, I've been busy over there. You can see a whole bunch of updates I've been, and like whenever I've been able to put out an update. Now, keep in mind that there's a bunch of things I've been working on with Mega Man Eternal 2. I just haven't put up update videos per se for them because some bits are a little bit more on the back end, some are on the front end, but I'm not quite ready to show them because I want to prepare a proper level for you guys to see. Along with some other things. But the next update I will be showing will show off Rush Jet and Tango Jet and Rush Coil and Tango Coil for Ambient and Mega Man. I'll show you how exactly those work in the game. But yeah, I encourage you to check this stuff out. I got a bunch of stuff here. But yeah, no, that's basically where the others, like where I've been uploading things for the past little while. Oh, Papyrus. While surfing the internet, I think I have a severe case of FOMO. Very severe. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Oh my. But my God, no. Let's see here. But yeah, no. I encourage anybody that say is my subscriber on the main channel here to go check out over there. I may upload things over on the alternate channel still, in case I really if I'm absolutely obsessed with getting it to be like monetized or something. I may put it over there or re-upload it over there. I'm gonna try my best to make sure that if you're subscribed to this one, if something goes up over there, I'll try to put up some sort of video here to notify you to go over to that one. So I want to make sure that it's very easy to get to these things. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, no. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Yes, and it's going to be mentioned in my update video whenever I get that out, because it's going to be a demo showing off one thing that's going to be in the game. Is next week. Now I'm not sure if it's going to be Friday or Saturday. I'm planning to do the next random stream, so either the Friday or the Saturday. And I've talked to Marcus. I've talked to most of them, and they're down for doing random stream next week. So if you're looking forward to a random stream, we're going to be doing it probably. It's either going to be on this channel or on the alternate one. So I'll try my best to make sure that there's some video somewhere on one of the two that let everybody know about that. But yeah, if you aren't subscribed to the alternate channel, do check that one out. Yeah, no, I got all kinds of updates over here. So we could put this on over here. But yes, do check out the stuff over on over there. It's pretty fun. Let's see. The best memory I had was my concept of a 2-player mode, where the second player possesses enemies and uses them to kill or help Mega Man. It was based on Super Mario 2 player co-op quest. It reminds me a little bit of Banjo-Kazooie, Bottle's Revenge. That one feature that you can get through Game Shark. But yeah, no, it's actually. But yeah, no. So I kind of have to thank the internet going viral on this channel back in November for the main channel being down. Oh yeah, no, I totally get you, Papyrus. It's not. Yeah, I'm sure there's more to it than just what you typed. It sounds like a cool idea. But yeah, no. What was I gonna show off? I guess I could tell you a little bit about what I've been up to today because I had a pretty cool experience. Actually, right now, I'm actually at a conference right now. That's at my university at the moment. It's kind of neat. It's actually quite. So far, I've been enjoying it. Let's just see, make sure I'm not missing anything. Just gonna put the chat over here, that way I don't lose it. But yeah, no, I've been at this conference for the past little while. Past couple days. And it goes for another 2 days. Right now they're doing the reception. I decided to come back because I wanted to get a bit more work done and kind of relax because yeah, I've been having a lot of long days lately. But yeah, no, I've been attending this. Since it's at my university, it's actually had a lot of cool opportunities with it. In particular, I wanted to talk a little bit about that is. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the people that are here that I'm actually kind of excited about. In particular, I wanted to actually tell you a little bit about one of the talks, actually 2 of the talks that were there today. I'm trying to remember how I get to it, but I'll look for it on the side. But I'll tell you a little bit about one of the talks that I seen today. It's very it's one of those moments that you have in life that you probably will only get to experience once or twice in your lifetime. So I wanted to share it a little bit on this stream here. One speaker named Yuri Matisevich, Matisevich, and he's a mathematician and computer scientist. Now, if you know anything about computer science and a lot of these important problems between computer science and maths, there's actually there's an important set of problems called the Hilbert problems or Hilbert's problems. And we had one of the people that solved one of these Hilbert problems at the university to give a talk, which is really impressive. Like, let's just say that in terms of, I have kind of in my head a checklist of people or things I want to do in my life. This is one of the things I wanted to do. And I was very lucky to see this guy actually in person because he's from Russia. But yeah, no, if you don't know about a little bit about these Hilbert's problems and that, I'll tell you a little bit about it. So in the early 20th century, there was a mathematician named David Hilbert, and he proposed a lot of really challenging problems that he felt represented the hardest problems, most challenging problems in his time. And some of these are still remain unsolved, or some of them have been proven, some are negative results, some are in particular are still up for grabs. But no, I'll tell you a little bit about this. There have been some of these problems still, so keep in mind that these problems are often considered like some of the more like very, very challenging problems. And I don't want to get overly technical with you guys. Where's the heck is the list? I thought that Wikipedia had a list. Maybe I skipped past it. Hilbert's, it's Hilbert's 10th problem. I want to go Hilbert's problems. I want this table here. So you may have, if you have any interest in maths, you may have heard of some of these problems, like the continuum hypothesis and some other guys. Well, the speaker that came to our university today for this conference developed a very important theorem that showed that the answer to Hilbert's 10th problem out of these 23 problems is negative result. It's impossible. And so the question is whether there exists an algorithm, like I'm just phrasing in high level language for you, there's this thing called Diophantine or Diophantine equations. And the question is if there exists a solution that consists of, like, the coefficients of these equations, don't worry too much about the technical bits, have integers, they're integer solutions. So the question is, does there exist an algorithm that can tell you whether there exists a solution and tells you it, or tells you there is no such solution? Well, he proved, along with a few other prominent mathematicians, but he spent like 25 years on this. He'd shown that you cannot find such an algorithm. It's undecidable. So in general, if you wanted to find one of these algorithms, you just can't. It doesn't exist. But no, he came to the university today, so I was very, let's just say, you ever wonder how, like, I don't know if anybody of you have had this experience before, but it's a very interesting one. Imagine if you've seen celebrities and, like, you're like, oh wow, that's so and so, like, oh, that's Johnny Depp or something, or there's Robert Downey Jr. or there's George Clooney or something, and you know there's celebrity, and you're like, you see them and like, whoa, that's that person. Well, now imagine if you had the same experience, but all you did was read about them in books, maybe see pictures of them, but you've never actually ever seen videos of them per se. Well, there are some that exist for some of these people, of course, but for most of the part, they just do what they do, and you often sometimes read about them in actual books, like some of the books on my bookshelf talk about this guy. So it's it's kind of surreal seeing people, like these people in the flesh, talking about some of the things that they've done in the past. But yeah, no. So it was quite an experience for me to actually see this guy in person. And he gave a talk involving the roots or the zeros of the Riemann zeta function. In particular, if you don't know much about that, that involves some interesting stuff over a number theory. In particular, he was looking at heuristic approaches for computing these zeros of the Riemann zeta function. And in particular, this conference is about, yeah, now a lot of people don't understand how maths actually work. So I'll tell you a little bit about that. Well, let me just stop sharing my screen. But I'll tell you a little bit about that. Now, say for instance, I'll whip out a paper here and I'll try to explain this to you. because I don't know how many of you actually know how people like me do our work and that. Well, here's the thing. If you talk to my mathematician friends, they'll tell you I'm a computer scientist. If you talk to my computer scientist friends, they'll tell you either I'm a theoretical computer scientist or a mathematician. I prefer to call myself a theoretical computer scientist. But if some people really have this issue with categorizing me, I'll just sometimes say I'm a mathematician, which I am technically, but I'm also a computer scientist. But anyways, so I'll give you an example. I got like papers all over the place. So I'll tell you a little bit about this. Okay. So say I whip out a technical paper like this. Or maybe in class you learn about, oh, there's this equation here or there. So the question is, okay, well, how do I know that the equation is in fact true? Or if I have any idea, like, how did somebody come up with these things? You know, like people don't know, like, how do people, like, oftentimes you hear people talk about how you come up with the stuff. And sometimes people just imagine that these mathematicians just sit around all day and they just have this spark that like magically gives them an equation or something, or an algorithm magically pops out, and then they write it out on a piece of paper one single time, and then they all of a sudden have it. Like for instance, if I just like gave you like here's a theorem, and then here's a proof for it, and I give you, it's like all divine inspiration or something. But no, most of the time that's not how it works. Usually a lot of the time you study these things, and just like any other scientist, you spend your time playing around with these things and trying to figure out what properties it has and how can you exactly explain these things. Now, it's not quite the same as the natural sciences, but here's the thing. In this conference, the one that I'm at, they kind of take more of a natural science approach, that they call experimental mathematics, where they try to run experiments in order to get some insight into the theorem that they're trying to prove. So, for instance, like they're setting a property of a certain problem, they may run a computer program that exhausts for very large resources in particular cases. And then what they do is they kind of look at it and say, okay, well, what does that look like? And then they try to make some predictions of what it should be, and then they can run more tests. And this is very similar to what a natural scientist would do. So that's sort of what the conference was about. It's sort of this idea that we can run experiments using computation in order to try to make a prediction about what we want to do. And because the reason why this, sure, to you or me, it may sound like common sense, but some mathematicians don't believe in that stuff. Some just believe in just pen and paper and not using computation to do these things. I use computation to help me out. But some mathematicians do not believe in that paradigm, at least especially when it comes to the case where they may not be able to prove something. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. I prefer proving my stuff, but sometimes you just got to get insight on some things because they're just too complicated. And then you kind of work your way kind of backwards sometimes. But keep in mind that of course, you have to make sure it works. It isn't just as simple as, oh, I came up with a magic formula, now it all of a sudden will work. No, you got to make sure these things actually work. Sometimes you can show it. Sometimes it's kind of good. But you got to keep in mind, a lot of these problems are non-trivial. They aren't just as simple as, oh, I need to calculate this angle. It's not really like that stuff. It's more like, okay, if I have like this n-dimensional space, can I make any predictions about a specific property in it that say something about, oh, if it's non-negative or something like that? Some crazy stuff. But yeah, no, so I enjoyed a pretty good talk on that. I wanted to show you something that was really cool, and I really need to find it. So I'm just going to try finding it for you guys. And if you don't know anything about the stuff, you'll totally blow your mind. Maybe you'll blow away some people that don't know much about this stuff. Just need to find that sucker. Uh, uh, how do you get to this? Trying to get to this one particular thing, because believe me, it will blow your mind. I'm just trying to find the software here. Well, anyways, so I had this one experience that I really am happy to have had, because I personally would never been able to even be in the presence of somebody like that. Okay. Let's see here. I'm just loading up this. I'm sure there's a better version of this. I'm trying to locate it, but it'll totally blow your mind. I mean, like Jesse Ventura style. It'll blow your mind. Oh, really, Papyrus? How have they been? But no, tell me about how your strange months have been. Where is it? I learned what "Hey Kids" is. Yeah, I can imagine that being a bit weird. It's just some creepy channel ran by an Indian or some Spanish. I'm not sure, like AI. Interesting. I'm trying to find this thing because like. Maybe I have to use this one. There, I'll show you what exactly I'm up to here. Ah, there we go. It's loading. Okay. Okay. There's a better version of this. I'm trying to locate it. Oh, where is it? It's gotta be somewhere here. Because I know there's a version that has a much better visualization here. Let's see here. Oh, well, I'll show you this one. Okay. So in school, probably from my friends that are a bit younger, you probably learned a little bit about the relationship between certain animals and maybe this concept of the tree of life. The idea that every animal on Earth has a common ancestor that they originate from, and this whole idea of evolution. Now, we've seen this. I've seen a talk from a colleague of mine that I consider a friend. that is a very prominent computer scientist and mathematician and does some stuff with biochemistry. And they've been working on this very interesting idea in the past little while. I think the last 3 or 4 years probably, where instead of thinking of the relationships, because remember, since for the past while, people have been able to map genomes of animals, whether it be small samples of these or longer sequences. Now, keep in mind that when we talk about sequencing in DNA, we're talking about not necessarily the whole genome. One thing that's sort of, you may have been told a lie in school, is that they may have been told that they sequenced the whole genome. It's kind of a lie, because technically they've sequenced small pieces of the genome, and then they use a computer program to put them all together using something called shotgun sequencing. I've studied a bit about that stuff, and at the same time, so keep in mind that when they do this, it accrues error. So, but it's because you only allow, the technology is getting better, but at the same time, you only can sequence so much. Hey there, Raging Banabo. I'm talking a little bit about some interesting stuff over some computing stuff. But yeah, no. So there's a natural question when you have all this DNA information, like with the genetics, is you may be used to this idea of a tree of life, but the tree of life, here, let's get a picture of the tree of life. Let's get a fun picture. Actually, I'm going to leave this one open because I'll be able to show you that one. Actually, let's see. Let's see if I can use that. Maybe I can get to this page here, but I'm going to look up Tree of Life. But yeah, you may be familiar with the concept of a tree of life. Now, in the tree of life, the main thing it captures is the relationships between ancestors with their descendants in terms of evolutionary history. So you could have something that looks like this. But the thing is, it doesn't tell you a whole lot about the relationships. Now, because keep in mind, when somebody organizes it like this, they're doing something very subjective. They're trying to say something about the relationship between them. Now, this one is actually a pretty good picture. But the Tree of Life doesn't necessarily have to look like this. You can take the amphibian section and move it over by the Sark section, as long as the ancestors are maintained. And this is something called a phylogenetic tree. So natural question is, okay, well, how can I take this and put it into something where I could understand the relationships between all the animals using nothing but genomic information? So instead of thinking about like a tree, like where you think of people coming up with these taxonomical ideas of how you could come up with these trees. Well, there's another way you can think about these, and actually I'll show you. Let me see if this has a link to that software. Maybe I can get to it. Maybe we're going to get lucky. Where is the software? Software. Free. Control F is my friend. Okay, application. This one doesn't really have anything in it. Oh well. So anyways, I was going to show you this. Where are we? Okay. So all these dots here represent particular animals. Now, the way they are able, now, one thing that they learned, these researchers, Lee Lacari's team, what they learned is that there's a particular way of representing the data that looks kind of cool. It's called a chaotic game representation or a chaotic game diagram. And what they do is they take the genomic sequence, and what they do is they break it, they construct this image using the sample, or like the sequence. So they construct one of these chaotic game representations, or chaos game representations. And what happens is, like, because remember, all these have links to the NIH sequences for each one of these. And the question is, okay, well, like, how do you capture the relationship between these different animals? Well, this is actually really one extremely interesting way of doing it. Now, if you know anything about history or evolution or biology or anything, now keep in mind that this is a 2D representation. This is an online application, and their proper application, you can make. They have 3D diagrams that they can use to construct these diagrams, and they're quite interesting looking. But anyways, so here's the idea: is if you look at this picture, if you look at the legend, you can see that there's fish, there's amphibians, you got the reptiles. Now, where are the reptiles? I clicked off of them. So you have the reptiles, we got the birds up there. But if you look at this in terms of the relationship, so encoding that data that way, then what they do is they count up the differences. So what they do is they look and compare them using some statistics to represent it this way. You'll notice that this gives you actually a really interesting interpretation. So now the position of these is in relation to the genomic sequences encoded by these diagrams. But happenstance, this looks really interesting if you know anything about evolution. Now, if you know anything about amphibians, amphibians evolved from fish. And you happen to see that the fish and the amphibians are right beside each other. And you'll notice that the reptiles are right by the amphibians. And note that this picture, since it's in 2D, it's really hard to interpret it properly. In 3 dimensions, it actually looks a lot better. It looks actually like these two are really close, but they're actually a little bit further apart. And you'll notice that this has a relationship. You'll notice that the reptiles, the birds evolved on the reptiles, while the dinosaurs. So you'll notice that they have a little bit of a gap here. But here's the thing: if we, what we can do is take a look at different relationships that these guys have. Like, say, for instance, if you look at the primates, take a look at each one of these animals, and you can actually you can look at the characterizations of each one. Let's see if I can find something that's interesting. Mitochondrion. I want mitochondrion. Okay, how about amphibians? Let's take a look at amphibians. So those are the frogs. These salamanders. Light blue ones. All right, Ciliae. But yeah, no, these maps are really fascinating. So this takes the whole idea of like the tree of life and kind of says, hey, look, instead of actually looking at just the ancestors, now you can actually plot out the differences between them in a very meaningful way, that you can make inferences potentially about the relationships they have. Let's like zoom in a little bit, and I'll give you an example of this. You'll notice that some of these blue ones over here cross with the darker blue ones. Actually, let's go to the vertebrates, and let's do this over there, because this gets really interesting over here. Let's see. You'll notice that there's some of these blue dots that are really close over here. Let's see. I want to find one, because there's some fish that cross over here. There's also some. I want to find one of these that looks really odd. Because remember, the green ones are the reptiles. Oh, I know. I can look for a fish. Let's see. Let's see what this one looks like. I'm curious. Yeah, there we go. So if you don't know what this one is, this is a toadfish. Toadfish, if I remember correctly. But if you look at this guy, you'll see that that it looks a lot like, has a lot of stuff going on with it in terms of its structure. In particular, it looks a lot like an amphibian crossed with a fish. It has a lot of properties that an amphibian has, but it also has a lot of properties that a fish has. And if you look at this, if you look at the plot, you'll notice that they cross over right about here. You'll see that you have this taxonomical issue where you have these things that sit right on the ridges of this that look a lot like fish, that also are very much like amphibians, but the taxonomy around them say things about, like, you can make a lot of bold statements about maybe how they're related. I don't know. Let's see. White line gecko. No, I want to find one that's really interesting. Let's see. There's a snake that they talked about in the talk that looks like a snake, but it's actually an amphibian. Oh, let's see what Japanese grass lizard. No, I don't want that. What's this? Redback salamander. Oh, let's see what the redback salamander looks like. Because I like looking at these animals. Let's see. Well, that one looks rather interesting. It looks a lot like a reptile. But it's not quite yet. But yeah, no, so like you can look at this, and it tells you a lot of information that just a phylogenetic tree would not be able to tell you. Oh, here's one that looks kind of interesting. There's one of these amphibian ones that looks really close to the. Let's try this one. This is the one I wanted. Yes. I forget what this is called exactly. I forget. Some people. Anyways, so if you were to look at this animal, if I just showed you like a picture like this, you would think that this thing is in fact a snake. But believe it or not, it's actually an amphibian. So this one has a lot of reptile-like characteristics, like a snake, but it's actually an amphibian. So here's where it gets kind of interesting. You got these water, what they called water snakes, like some of these water snakes are actually amphibians. But yeah, you get some of this really cool stuff that pops up in this molecular map. So like you could, so keep in mind, you can think about now keep in mind this does not say anything really about evolution per se, but the way they characterized is really interesting, especially if you think about it that way. So it's really hard to infer things directly from it, but but keep in mind, and as the author of this have said, is that this says a lot about what's existing right now. But it's very, very compelling in the way it's structured. Actually, I'm kind of curious about this one. It's really close to that's very close to the fish. I'm kind of curious. Is this what I think it is? Look at that. There you go, froggy. No surprise that it's really close to the fish. But yeah, no, I wanted to show you this guy because I thought it was very interesting. So this is just another way you can interpret things, and it tells you a lot of information about the animals and the relationships. And this just gives you some evidence to suggest that let's just say, if you ever want to talk to your friend that like is a crazy creationist, I've run into some of those. Show them this thing, and you can get them to try to explain to you why they break into these lovely categories like this. But then there's a lot of overlap in them. But yes, Uh, so I thought I would show you guys that. It's kind of neat. So let's see here. But yeah, so yes, so you learned that there's such a thing called a toadfish. You don't mess with them. They're kind of freaky. So let's see here. What time are we at? But yeah, no, I'm happy to be on the main channel here. But yeah, as I've said earlier, just for those that may be tuning in just now, that there's no monetization on this channel at the moment. It has a lot to do with the fact that the stupid copyright strike knocked out the monetization. But at the same time, they didn't really tell me anything about like when it'll come back. So my hope is that I'm going to try to coordinate between my alternate channel and this channel a bit more. And hopefully we'll be able to deal with that for the time being. And also I hope to do a random stream next week. I guess one thing I can do before we close up for the night is I can show you just a little bit about what I've been up to. Without too much spoiler, I don't want to do that. I can show you a little preview of my next preview video for Mega Man Eternal 2. And I mentioned this earlier. Let me just turn off the share screen here. Don't mind me later. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for now so I can prep that up. But no, hopefully you guys are doing good. Yeah, no, so here, I'm just getting this loaded up here. Thought I'd show you a little preview of what I've been up to. Well, there's a lot of things I've been up to, but as you can clearly tell, I've been pretty busy from an academic standpoint with my research and some of these conference things and that. Thought I'd show you some cool stuff. So let's see here. Oh yeah, one thing that I thought it would be kind of interesting to mention is that I took my last course in winter, and that went well. Kind of expected, but yeah, no, it's kind of surreal to take your last course in something because I'm doing my PhD, and there's not really more you can do aside from learning more yourself or jumping into another field. Take more courses or something. So it's kind of like, at least from an academic standpoint, it's kind of surreal that, especially that I've been in keep in mind, I've been in university since I was 18, and now I'm 27. So I've been at university. I've been in the academic thing for a while. Keep in mind, there's only about a year or two in there where I wasn't, but I was still working with the university or teaching and that. But yeah, you get my drift. I've been there for a while, and probably will be for even longer. But anyways, I'm just gonna show you this. I don't want that. Yeah, this is what I want. Just loading this up. I'll put on screen 2. Screen 2, screen 2. Now, let's do screen 1. Screen 1. Okay, let's move that over there. But so, oh yeah, I thought I would also note. I apologize for anybody that my subscribers that have been trying to watch all these attempted streams up to this point, because I was trying to use OBS, and OBS is a pain in the neck to calibrate, it seems. But no, if anybody has any tips for OBS and how to calibrate that for even 720p properly, do leave it in the comment section or in the chat here. I'd appreciate it if you have any experience using it. Because that was my first time using it, and let's just say I'm not as proud of it But it would be really great if I can get that working, especially if I'm doing my streams where it's just me, because I can put myself in the corner and I can put the chat there, and I don't need to use my webcam for a microphone, because this one has no background noise cancellation, so I can use the audio appropriately. Then you also can take back now that you know there's such a thing as a toadfish. Then the fact that there's amphibians that look exactly like snakes. But not exactly like, but if you saw it from a distance in the bushes, you'd probably think it was a total snake that was going to poison you. You know, it's just compiling. Okay, there we go. I think we're just about there. This compiling is just dramatic. I'm just going to put it on screen 1 here. Put it back on the chat. Just so you know, I am watching you. Okay, there we go. Let's put that over here. But yeah, no, so anyways, so what I'm showing off here is Tango Coil, Tango Jet, and that last weapon I was showing you was the was so far the primitive version of the Tidal Wave, Tidal Woman's weapon for. This one I believe is going to be either it's either ambient or it's Mega Man's version of Tidal Woman's weapon. Keep in mind they both have their own variants. I'm pretty sure Tidal Wave is Mega Man's, if I remember correctly. But yeah, the idea is that you can ride this wave, and you can use it as a temporary platform that extends past the edges so that you can get an extra far jump. So, for instance, you can use this thing as a platform to get a bit farther than you'd normally be able to. And it destroys enemies across the way. So this thing does destroy enemies as it goes across. Now, that part isn't programmed just yet. And Tango Coil is very much like Rush Coil, except that's Tango, which is kind of cute. But yeah, so Mega Man and Ambient have their own sets of weapons. So note that each one will have their own set. So So Mega Man will have their version of the weapons, and Ambient will have their version of the weapons. So that at least makes it so that, and note that they will be balanced. So, for instance, if Mega Man has this ability with the tidal wave to go extra far off the platforms, then another weapon that probably Ambient would have the ability to do something very similar, probably like Turbine Man's weapon or something. But I really like it because you could ride it and you'll totally, well, what it will have is that it'll obliterate anything it runs into. Note it will take more weapon energy than what's prescribed there. It won't just be one unit. That's just mostly for testing purposes. But I really like the Rush Jet, or Tango Jet in this case. Oh, there you go. But yeah, I'm still programming some bits of this, as you can tell. Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to be making any humans playable. No, that would be a critical mistake. But yes, the game just froze right now. It's because there was one little bit of the jet and the quail that I forgot to add in so far. That I need to add still is that I didn't put in the case when he's still basically, I didn't put in the condition when the weapon energy runs out while you're still riding it. But yeah, no, that's only one part I didn't program just yet. But yeah, basically, yeah, no, the only humans that pop up in this game are either going to be captured by things or running away from them. They don't really, they wouldn't be playable. That would kind of just suck balls. Because it kind of is a bit weird in the Mega Man universe to do such a thing. But yeah, I thought I would show you guys that. But yeah, don't worry too much about the weird bug. That will be fixed. That is, because keep in mind, this is a work in progress. I haven't yet, isn't out just yet. But yeah, I would have more stuff, but the past few weeks have been extremely busy. One thing, what else can I show you? I got lots of stuff, but let me see here. But yeah, one thing you probably noticed that, and you probably noticed every time it boots up, it says like connected to server. Remember that this game is, in fact, it connects to an online server so that you can register your high scores online. So, for instance, for the mini games, and probably for the completion times of the game, like so, if you're doing a speed run, I'm not sure if I'll be adding scores into the main game. I may or may not. We'll see. Probably completion times make a lot more sense. But so essentially, you'll be able to. This does have online connectivity. So keeping that in mind, this thing does connect to the internet. But if it doesn't, don't worry. It's not the end of the world. This game still plays without needing to be connected to the internet just fine. You just won't be able to register your high scores online. Oh yeah, one thing I can also show you that's kind of neat. No, I already told you guys that last time. Was about the game controllers and that. They have the rumble and everything programmed. So that's nice and sexy. But anyways, guys, I'm going to be wrapping up the stream right now. I want to thank you guys for sticking around and being lovely subscribers. You guys rock. And for anybody that's new to the channel, I encourage you to subscribe to this and my alternate channel. So I'm just going to remind everybody how you can get to that alternate channel, because my newer stuff is over there too. So you can just go view chat. Well, on me, I'm just going to go to the channel thing so you can see. So I'm just going to go view as, we'll go as returning subscriber. And if you go click on Daniel Page over here on the right side, or you just go discrete computation at the top. You can get to my alternate channel, which has less subscribers, but has a lot of my newer stuff on here. And typically, you'll find a lot of these random streams that I've been speaking of over here. The random stream may be on this channel, or it may be on the alternate channel, this one. So keeping that in mind, I will try my best to make sure both channels are consistent, as in, if I post something over there, I put up a video here on the main channel that tells you where to go. But anyways, I think that's pretty clear. So anyways, I want to say thank you guys for watching, and have yourself a beautiful day. You guys rock. Actually, I'm going to go on the screen here now. There, this makes it a little easier to talk to you guys. But anyways, thank you for your patience, especially with me with this alternate channel and that stuff and my academic work. I apologize for it being kind of like a little sporadic, because normally what I have is that I upload weekly. I want to really get back in that habit once I have my, because for my PhD I have to do this literature survey and a proposal together. What I want to do is I want to get back into uploading weekly after that. So basically the idea is that I want to put up a Mega Man Eternal 2 video or some funny video, and then having a random stream. So like either I want to do random streams once a month or once every 2 weeks, something like that. I think that's pretty reasonable. But do tell your friends to come subscribe to the channel if you want more Mega Man Eternal 2, some random stream stuff, some funny videos, or some serious commentary on stuff, or you're interested in maths or science stuff. I talk about all kinds of stuff. But anyways, I'll talk to you later, and have yourself a beautiful day. And do make sure to, I gotta do the cliched pun thing, you know. You go, because Human Man won the Mega Man fan game. Yes, I want to make sure you guys do put your comments down below. I do appreciate any kind of stuff you guys could tell me, or if you really like some things that I do, like if you like the Mega Man Eternal 2 updates more, I can focus on those. Although of course I'm always interested in doing that. If you like random streams, do let me know in the comments. I'd like to know kind of what you guys like on this channel. So anyways, have yourself a beautiful day.